Julie, what excites you the most about this season, and what sort of the different themes that we're getting?
Well, the thing that excites me most about this season is being able to start from a place where everybody's a little bit fractured and trying very hard to very quickly repair those relationships, because with new elements arriving into town that are thrilling, our originals need to be working together, and they need to be strong, and or they're going to get beaten. And the idea that there is an entity that could, in fact, beat an original, I think, is always fun to play with, because they are immortal and possible to kill. So you got to ask yourself, how could that happen?
How difficult was it to cast these new elements?
Well, it's very difficult because we are still casting them as we speak. But we shoot one in a week, so we've got a few more days, and I feel good.
How would you, because last season was definitely more of a family drama. It was very much about the kind of history of the Michelsons in a way, and all their relatives. I guess what would you kind of, if you had one or two words, like the major theme for this season, how would you describe season 3?
I think that this season specifically is, as our original heroes have finally put their own parents and their dysfunction to rest, their first line of children come to town with similar resentments and similar feelings of having been neglected, abused, and just generally mistreated. And so if you recall everything that our heroes did to vanquish those that raised them, then you can only imagine what their first line of sired vampires would have to say about them as parents.
Now that both shows will be on Thursdays, can we look forward to some crossovers like Arrow and Flash have had?
Yeah, well, that's been the big contentious debate of the day. I threw Michael Narducci under the bus in another interview where I said, I keep pitching crossovers and he keeps turning them down. Now he's mad at me. He's not talking to me. But we talk about them all the time. We actually talk about them so much that we're a little frustrated that we haven't found the perfect way to do it, and we won't do it until we know what that is. And so it could be a long time. It could be not this year. It could happen because we get a flash of brilliance out of the blue. But right now we have no plans, but that doesn't mean that we never will.
With the first line of Sired Vampires coming back, I asked this to Michael too. How does Hope play into this? Because obviously now, in a way, she could be seen as very much a weakness to Klaus, because he's essentially a really probably terrible full-time dad at this point.
Yes.
So, but I'm wondering, does she present herself as a weakness to him when these Sired Vampires come back?
Well, I think in general, Hope is both Klaus's greatest strength and his greatest weakness. The fact that he is capable of that kind of love gives him a sense and a core of humanity that he needs as a person, as a vampire, to not be just a miserable, ancient, immortal creature who will never know love. That being said, when you love somebody, then someone can use it against you. And frankly, that is what one of these new characters comes to town saying, you're at risk, man, and you're vulnerable. Your attachments make you vulnerable. So I'm here to protect you, and I think you need to allow me that.
Characters having love. Is Josh going to meet anyone this year?
Josh, poor Aiden, may he rest in peace. We will see Josh again. We won't be, rushing Josh into any new relationships, because I think that the murder of his one true love is going to take some time for him to get over. We'll see him trying to get over that, and then in the future, what's to say? Everybody needs to get on and get past grief and find love again. It's just a matter how long it takes.
I'm from Brazil, and I know how passionate the Brazilian fans are.
Yes, very.
About the vampires,
Wonderfully.
The originals. What is the request that you get the most from the fans? Not only from Brazil, but from all over the world.
Actually, it's funny, specifically from Brazil, it's say hi to Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah. and now, so I'm saying hi, Brazil.
Thank you.
But mostly they just want to know, are we going to do right by these characters in their minds? It's funny because you create the characters and you give them the characters, but then they hold you to it and they say, don't mess with our characters, and you're like, it's an interesting relationship, but it's good. They're very defensive of, very protective of the people that they love on these shows, and it's a fascinating dynamic. Go ahead.
Since this is Comic-Con, what powers do you wish you had?
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. I would like to be able to glide, like the gentleman in Buffy, where I didn't ever have to walk on my feet. So sort of like a Segway without a Segway, you know, where I could just like float my way through the press lines and across the floor. That would be one. The other would be I would like to be able to have like a mystical vocal box so that I don't get laryngitis, because I do every year. Right about tomorrow this time, this will be gone. And what's the third? I would like the super liver, so that at the end of the night, when having cocktails the next day, piece of cake, not a problem. Those would be my three wants.
Sorry, I have to go.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Loved your Olyssey shade last night.
My what?
Your